My name's Diana Wood, and this is Tom. Tom was my 19-year-old son. Lovely, fun to be around, happy-go-lucky, he loved life. He was such a lovable, likeable, lad. He could be a little rogue at times with his ADHD, and he could argue with you black was white, but that was just Tom. When he left school, he was originally wanted to be a car mechanic. He wanted to do it as an apprenticeship, and we couldn't get him a place as an apprenticeship. So he got a job part-time on Saturdays and Sundays. He applied to get a part-time place at college. They were full. So then he decided he'd take all hours that he could, all the overtime that was available, and he absolutely loved it. So he decided, well, actually, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to be a car mechanic now. So they could all see potential in him, and the store manager was very impressed and was giving him more and more responsibility jobs to do. He just got on the apprentice scheme. He was also training to be a supervisor, and he decided he wanted to buy a new car. So he bought a Vauxhall Corsa car that he thought then, with me travelling, which he would be travelling round. He'd got a good reliable car with breakdown on it, so he was all set up. So then on the 1st of June in 2014, he was driving to work, and something made him swerve to the left. We don't know why he swerved to the left, whether it was a wild animal or whatever made him swerve to the left, but he did. He overcorrected and went across, and he hit a tree. My life, well, half of me went with Tom. It was absolutely horrendous to think my poor son that got everything going for him, but he was gone. He'd gone and I had lost him. Tom was speeding. I knew Tom used to speed. Dad and I had many conversations with him, and I'd only said to him on the Wednesday, as he lost his life on the Sunday, I said, Tom, you really worry me. Yes, you've passed your driving test, but you are learning to drive. Should anything go wrong, you haven't got the experience behind you to correct it. Please slow down. I said, you really worry me. I said that you're either going to kill yourself and or somebody else. I said, please slow down. He said, oh, Mum, you worry about me too much. He said, I'm fine. He just saw me as an overprotective mum. So, however, that day when he hit the trees, he lost his life. Unfortunately, we didn't have the knock on the door. We had the phone call from the hospital. We got to the hospital, walked into A&E to be met by a police officer and a nurse. They said, come with us, took us into a room, and I just knew it. I knew that he'd gone. I absolutely howled like a dog. I was so upset. Tom and I, he was my baby. He really was. We were so close. And he'd gone at the age of 19. His life had come to an end, and it just seemed so cruel. And I used to think, oh, Tom, why didn't you just listen to me? I asked you to slow down. But yes, it was just so sad, absolutely so devastated. And as when we do our safety talks, and I always say, trust me, speed does kill. Because if Tom hadn't been speeding, then perhaps he might have gone through the trees and just gone through the hedge, and the outcome may have been different. It might not have been different, but there's that chance it may have been. So, I'm very much saying, please slow down, people. I wouldn't want any other family to go through the pain that I've been through and still going through. The flow I had, it was absolutely brilliant. We had Kevin, he was really good, really supportive. I know even after Tom's funeral, because he came out the morning of Tom's funeral, and if it hadn't been for Kev, I don't think I'd have got in the car, because we had the hearse come home, because I wanted Tom to come home before he went to the church, and I just froze on our driveway, just looking at the hearse, and Kevin kept saying, come on, Di, we can do this, come on, let's do it together. And he encouraged me to walk down the drive and to get into the car, and I was very grateful for him. And then Well, I didn't have any connections with roast beef at the time because I was more familiar with those later on when after I'd met Abby, and then met Abby and Lucy, and then I met Ange that helped pay for Tom's funeral, the Eli Memorial Fund, which has been a brilliant for me. And Ange prepared me for what was going to happen and with the inquest and what to expect, and I'd have a lot more questions, you know, after the inquest, which was right. And Ange and I now have made a very good friendship out of something which is so sad. And I don't honestly think I'd have been where I am if it hadn't been for the factors of me having the support from Ange. But also I think Ange moved on after having my support. I started off with being with Eli, being a trustee. I retired 2 years ago in September, and I'm now a director, and I donate all my time as and when and as much as I'm needed, and supporting whoever needs us. If you think that you want to speed, you think it's cool to speed, or to drive in convoy with anybody, or racing, please stop and think of the pain that I've gone through and that I'm going through. My life would never be the same without Tom. Part of me died that day with Tom, and I wouldn't want your parents to go through that pain. So please stop and think and drive sensibly at the correct speed. Please talk to your children and just guide them and tell them my story, and hope then that will make them stop and think and make the right choices to keep themselves safe and to keep their family safe.